You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today, man, we have two superstars. We have Arden Myrin, and we also have Julie Anne Robinson, and they are the amazing hosts of this podcast about Lady of the Road that we're going to be talking today. How are you doing?
Oh, good morning, Shamaya. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, but it's not the morning for me because I'm in England.
When it comes to the podcast Lady of the Road, y'all interview a lot of women with inspirational stories and insight for self-help and different various topics. Kind of break it down for the audience on the different topics that you guys discuss.
Well, we discuss money, we discuss health, we discuss anxiety. I mean, that sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. Fun topics like that.
Fun topics like that. But it's things that people don't normally like to talk about. And we just think we think it's interesting that we're getting these high profile women to be very honest about themselves and honest about their lives. And it's not really out there at the moment.
That's a hot trend right now where people are trying their best to better themselves and better their lives. And with all the things that are going on, it's always about improving it. So, I mean, you both are very successful in your career. How does that play a role in you having these conversations?
I feel like no matter where you go, there you are, So I think I know that there are certain areas of my life that I still get nervous about, or I get some anxiety about. And it was interesting just talking to, a lot of the people we have on are like a lot of very funny women. A lot of, we have Retta from Parks and Rec. We have Nicole Byer from Nailed It, Lauren Lapkus from The Wrong Missy. We had on Joan Jett, who was amazing. Like talking to all these different kinds of women that they still have their fears or their struggles and how they've learned to sort of manage them and like advocate for themselves and not let them hold them back. And so it's inspiring for me when I think we all get sort of the little boogeyman in our head that's like gets nervous or can kind of self-sabotage. And it's like, no, I can, just because I'm nervous, that's not a good enough reason to not try something, that I can be brave and do things. Like it was very cool to hear that everyone has still, no matter what level they're at, that people have their stuff that trips them up, but they like have figured out ways around it. And
also for you, Julie, with your expertise, I mean, your resume is so long. That's why I didn't want to take all my minutes to burn the show for today. But with your lengthy resume and your success, how does that play a role in you being able to inspire people with your story as well?
Thank you for that. I think that it's easy to sometimes we all look at other people and we think they've got it all figured out. They think, well, they've got their career, they've got their family, they've got it all figured out. And then inside that person is the same levels of anxieties, the same kind of worries about money, the same worries about health as anybody else. And that's, I think it's about being honest about that and saying, people are not necessarily what you think that they are, or the imposition that you put on them from the outside. Underneath, I think we all have these, we're all driven by the same things. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the podcast, was to kind of unwrap the wrapper a little bit on some of these people, these famous people that we have on.
And there's no better source in learning what they are discussing right now, the podcast Lady of the Road. Speaking of being brave and taking risks, I'll close this with you, Arden. When you see all the success that you had in your personal career, you have a great resume as well, being an actress and writer and comedian. What's some of the things that you hope people can take away when you share your insight?
I guess I would say, it seems like an outside thing, but growing up, I never played sports. I was supposed to, I had to do something. We were required to do it, but I was never even on the JV sports team. And during the pandemic, I actually there was a rec center nearby that had $8 tennis clinics. And I was like, I'm going to go do that. And I would sort of like, I've been doing it, you know, just for exercise and fun, but I would sort of panic and apologize and get nervous and speak against myself. And a friend of mine a couple months ago recently said to me, she was like, Arden, like, don't speak against yourself. Every time you speak against yourself, like you're putting blood in the water. People don't trust you. You're giving people arrows to shoot you with. You're a champion out there. So no matter what, don't go against yourself. You're becoming a champion. And there's something I feel like talking to all these women, like, and it doesn't mean that I'm, you know, necessarily that good, but like, it's like grow where you're planted. Where you are is good enough. Start with where you're at. And like, even just the first baby step, like you're becoming a champion, and like, it's okay if you don't have everything you want right now. And so I feel like this is like champion school is our podcast. And yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Like I never said I was Serena Williams, you know, but like, I'm going to shoot towards that. I'm going to try to become a champion, but like that, I don't need to add on to be like belittling myself, and nor does anybody else out there. That like everybody out there is a champion. Even if you're like you know, my friend just had a baby. She's like, I'm a champion at changing diapers this week. Just nothing. It was like, yeah, you are. That's a big thing. You took care of a little person. Like, yes, you are a champion. Like, so I feel like this podcast is like, you know, like what you're doing is enough, and like just do, like, go for it, and whatever, wherever you're at or whatever, like it's a mindset. It's been really cool.
Once again, we have the true honor talking to Arden Myrin, and also the famous, the one and only Julie Anne Robinson. You want to check out this podcast, Lady of the Road. It's not just inspiring, it's not just heartfelt, but it's also funny, all above. I just want to say thank you to you both for taking time in your busy schedule to talk to us today.
Oh, Shamaya, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I Am Refocused Radio is brought to you by Foo 4 Star and Holy Crab. Foo 4 Star is a family-owned Asian restaurant in San Antonio, Texas. We have been a local favorite for Asian cuisine for over 10 years. With nothing but full smiles and fast service, you'll be leaving satisfied. Come on in for some authentic Vietnamese food. Holy Crab is one-of-a-kind Cajun Creole-style seafood restaurant located in Universal City, Texas. We offer traditional seafood items as well as chicken and steak. We also offer seafood boils. Come give us a try. You won't be disappointed. You can find these two eateries in Universal City, Texas at 2921 Pat Booker Road.